Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and information on Path of Exile. And this has been a very packed week, so starting up with the launch Twitch drops. So basically GGG improving on their viewer base on Twitch once again. If you watch for 4 hours any of course of accumulated time, so you can stop and start, and it will start from where you got basically. Any streamer on the Path of Exile page from Twitch, you will be able to get this Ice Tiger pet, which I mean, it's a free microtransaction, so it's always nice. And even though it says launch, this thing is available up until December the 15th, so absolutely go and get it. I mean, it's free, so unless you don't really have the internet to watch 4 hours of streaming, definitely do so. Anyway, we also got all of the changes in the gems, and these are the normal gems, so you can just show the differences for any, or just show all if you prefer. Also, one thing you might want to do is like Ctrl F and go like Glacial Hammer, and you can see your favorite skill. That is another way that you can check out whatever skill, because I mean, look how little is this thing, this sidebar here. This is huge. This list is absolutely huge, so if you haven't had the chance to already take a look at it, I definitely recommend just searching for whatever you are wanting to use. Also, we got 5 batches of transfigured gems, so there's a huge amount of gems, and GGG kinda trolled everyone, keeping Righteous Fire in the last one, and everyone was going mad. But I mean, beside the memes, we got some very interesting things like Arc in the first, then the second one had like EK, which I think had some problems, but it's probably fixed. And then in the middle of those, GGG let players prepare their private leagues, which of course were available before the launch, and as usual, you can create your own private league even now when the league has started, and you can kinda change the mods in there and basically make it harder if you want, or maybe just play with your friends, that's fine as well. And of course, all of the item filters informations, of course there's a lot new items and all the maps have changed as usual, so if you're managing your own item filter, you probably already know about this, but most players will just download any filter with, and that is going to be fine as well. And that's also what I do, because really, who has the time to manage a filter? Definitely not a working person, unless you're really committed to that. And we also got the Transfigure Part 3 for gems, with the famous Raise Zombie of Fallings, and other minion gems like Reapers, having 3 Reapers but cannot dash, or having 1 Reaper that can dash unlimitedly, but it doesn't attack normally. So very interesting things. Transfigure Part 4 actually got to very interesting stuff like animated weapons of ranged arms, getting really interesting with the animating weapon of self-reflection, actually animating your own weapon. So people started theory crafting with energy blade and those kind of things, so definitely interesting stuff there. I mean, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of new possible builds, and yeah, if you haven't had the chance yet, I'm sure there's like a million streamers and YouTubers going out with different builds right now, even though it's only been a couple days, but people already got to maps and like red maps and poeurl or whatever. So yeah, there's already a ton of content, much more than one can actually watch and digest even while playing. Anyway, if you haven't had the chance to download the client yet, the only thing you need to know is around 8-9 gigabytes, so like 8.5 more or less, and you really want to start downloading that as soon as you can. If you have a slower internet, which is still the case in some places, you might want to do that overnight, as like 8.5 gigabytes on a slower internet is going to take quite a while. Also, we got the 5th and final part for the Transfigured Gems, finally releasing the latest Righteous Fire, which is basically a mana version of Righteous Fire, dealing damage based on your mana and burning you based on your mana. And people started thinking, what if I can run both Righteous Fires with the normal one buffing this one? And things got crazy, but the burns are going to be really high, so someone will manage that, most likely. We'll see how these things go. I'm not even sure the wiki is updated, but POB should be There's probably some lists that you can find on Reddit and maybe on the forums of all these gems with all the changes from the normal ones. You definitely need a bit of Googling there, because just looking at those like this, it's going to take you much time, especially if you have a very definite idea of what you want to play and haven't started yet. Because if you don't have an idea of what you want to play, well, good luck just checking all of the gems. I mean, I did that, but it was before the league, so it's not like I needed time to play. And we also get, of course, new challenges for this league, and as usual, it's a set of 40 challenges, which is actually 8 if you're playing Ruthless. And as the last league, which I didn't really like, the first pieces of the set are at the 4, 8, 12 and 16 challenges, and getting to 16 can be pretty annoying. So luckily 16 is the helmet, and this time the helmet is definitely not the most important part of the armor, unlike previous league where the helmet was definitely the best piece. But well, yeah, not everyone gets to 16 challenges, because you start getting into the realm of somewhat RNG challenges and specialized challenges, like you have to specialize into something like shrines or abysses or whatever else. So we'll see how this league goes. So far it's going definitely good, even though there's some kind of problems, but their GG is fixing those. And one thing I'm gonna talk about in the MTX section is this new Valdos map, where basically soon we will be able to drop this kind of like Valdos puzzle boxes, and when you drop them, you open them and you get a single tier 16 map. And this is going to be a special map, always rewarding a specific foil unique, which is actually defined in the map. So even here it says foil headhunter, right? But when you create these maps, and this is done by purchasing, of course, the latest or the highest tier supporter pack, and you can definitely give it a lot of weird mods. So if we look at these, it says monster has +6 maximum frenzy charges, gaining frenzy charge on it, only inhabited by Kitava's Herald, open 1 portal to the map, so you cannot fail this. And this is even the least of your problems. Like this one, monsters inflict petrification for 4 seconds on hit, having 2 additional packs of 4 map bosses, and so on and so forth. Like these maps can become like absolutely crazy. This one, as area becomes increasingly lethal. So yeah, these are going to be absurd to play. And GG even say, I think they even say that you can actually have dead characters be sent to Void League. So that is crazy. Like you literally lose your character and it doesn't even go to standard, it goes into the void straight up. So the other thing is that the harder the mod that this map has chosen, the more likely the map can be obtained, probably to bait more characters into dying. I mean, that's definitely a GGG thing. So we'll see. We'll definitely see some good content out of those maps, but they'll probably be really hard to do. And well, we got a specific single affliction balance change, which I'm going to skip, because literally there is this live updates thread, which starting from when the game launched, or the league launched, GGG has been posting all of the fixes, hotfixes and bug fixes, and where they are doing and what they are investigating. So the hotfix that they released as a single part was because the player base was kind of mad that, as always, the league is way overtuned, way overtuned from the normal content. I mean, as always, but it's definitely not fun, and people have started comparing it to Arch Nemesis, and I can definitely understand why. What they did first up is significantly reduce the amount of damage dealt by empowered monsters, and that is because if you randomly empower 2 monsters, or empower 1 monster 2 times, you might just get 1 shot, and you don't even understand why. So that is definitely a good hotfix. Also reducing attack, cast and move speed of these empowered monsters. I had found some monsters I really couldn't get out of their range. Like literally they were faster than me and stronger than me. However, playing a very strong meta build actually made me survive. But honestly, the experience for the average player is probably really bad. If you have a wonky build, this content is way out of your league, honestly, and that's kind of sad. But still, they also decreased, of course, because they reduced the power, so they have to reduce the players as well. Decreasing the amount of wisps dropped from non-empowered, non-unique monsters in the Wildwood by 30-40%, so less wisps getting collected there due to these changes. And then they also did another hotfix, basically reducing the life, so rare monsters empowered by wisps now have 20% less effective life, and unique monsters have about 30% less effective life. This is because some of them became complete sponges, and some of them I actually couldn't even kill them, and I'm using a Guardian with one of the most meta skills like the Sentinels of Radiance, summon Raging Spirits with poison, and even then some monsters I actually could not kill. They would over heal my damage, and that is completely retarded. I cannot imagine the random player experience. It must be really poor. And of course, if you're playing hardcore, you cannot even do the league because you will definitely get killed by random monsters. The thing about these leagues is that you really don't have a way to balance the power, and the worst part for me is that you don't have a way to improve your gameplay beside not actually doing the league content. Like, I remember back in the days, PoE was definitely much more brutal than it is now. Like, you got level 3 to Hail Rake in the Tidal Island, and it would just high spear you, crit from afar, freeze you, and then triple high spear you, and you are dead. But that is a hard content that you can actually beat when you have the knowledge. So you get there the second time, you know he's gonna throw those spears, you dodge them, maybe you get some cold resist, maybe you understand how Ice Spear works, and you know that it crits at a distance, so you go close to it, and you beat the difficult content with knowledge. That was good content. Now the problem with these leagues is that you don't have a way to beat this content with knowledge. Like, you know these monsters are empowered, all you can do is either not play the league and don't empower them, or understand that you have to dodge them. Like, but I don't mean to dodge, like when you see them just run away, or you can kill them. There is no middle ground where you can actually learn what a monster does and then dodge his mechanics, for example. Some monsters are straight up unkillable if your build does not do enough damage, which, I mean, in some parts it's fine, but it's not like you can change or like create those things by your own will. It's just all random, and you get dealt what you're dealt, and if you're not able to deal with it, well, sucks to be you. So I don't know about this type of designs that's become the core part of PoE, but still, honestly, I'm having fun these leagues, so for now I'll give it more time and we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I guess it was all for this week, so if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. That was all. I've been your host, Giorgio, and I'll see you guys the next time.